Hey, it's great to have you here. I wanted to chat with you today about some strategies to help you to overcome procrastination. It's that knowing what we should be doing, knowing those things that are important to us, knowing what we really should be getting started with, the projects we should be working on, the goals that we're working towards, but not doing it. Knowing it, but not doing it. I think so many of us have these goals in our lives, these things that we want to work towards. I really should lose some weight. I really should quit my job and do something that I love more and I'm passionate about. I really should get fit and healthy. I really should find a relationship that gives me more of what I need. We know that we should do these things, but we don't seem to do them. We don't seem to get into action and start really doing them, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Hopefully some of the things I share will give you a few strategies and steps you can use to help you to get stuff done. That's the key, to really help you move from knowing to doing in these important things in our lives. Now the first one, so step one, is all about that word that I just used a few times. It's the word should. Now, whenever I hear the word should, I'm always a little bit cautious, because the word should can often be a word that we hear from external factors in the world. So we hear other people putting these shoulds on us. We hear our parents saying to us, whether it is whilst they're actually around when we're younger or as we grow up, or whether it's just voices in our heads where we can hear our parents' voices saying, you really should find a steady job, you really should go to university, you really should, you should. And those shoulds don't just come from our parents, they come from our peers, they come from our colleagues, they come from friends, they come from other family members, they come from the news, social media, they come from religion, they come from all different external factors seem to put these shoulds on us, and then we carry them with us. And after a while, we can sometimes forget which of these shoulds belong to us. And so step one for you, when there's something in your life that you really know is something that you should do, or that even you feel like you want to do, I want to lose weight, I want to be fitter and healthier, I want to get that dream job, but you're not doing, the thing that you're not taking action on, there's something going on there. So question number one is, does that should belong to me? So for example, if I take a should I've got in my life of, I really should get a bit fitter. If I ask myself that question, does that should belong to me? My immediate response is yes. And I know that should belongs to me, because when I dig a bit deeper, and this is step number two in the process, when I dig a bit deeper and I ask myself, well, why? Why is that important to me? I can come up with loads of reasons, and those reasons aren't about pleasing other people. Those reasons aren't because someone else says so. Those reasons are not anything to do with any outside external source. They are all reasons that I really feel kind of deep within myself, within my heart, within my mind, within my body. So step one is that, does this belong to me? And some of our shoulds just don't belong to us. And so it's as simple as, let it go. Let that stuff go. I should stay in a long-term, steady, committed job, and once I've chosen that job, I shouldn't want anything else or move to another job or another career or something that could make me happier because I've committed. If that's not your should, if there's not a real why, a purpose behind it that you feel inside you, let it go, because it's not ultimately going to make you happy. And then the second step is about, why is that so important to me? And that's really how you know whether it's your should or not. So why is getting fit and healthier important to me? Well, because I know it helps with my mental clarity and focus. I know that it makes me feel better in my body. I love the idea of being able to look in the mirror and try clothes on and go, yeah, you know, I'm looking good, I feel good. The idea of being able to run down the street and not feel out of breath is a lovely one. Definitely being fitter generally always gives me much more energy overall, and that's a great feeling to have. There are so many reasons why, for me, something like getting fitter is important. And one of the key factors in us working towards any goal and actually succeeding, achieving and maintaining that drive, that momentum towards a goal is us knowing why. Us knowing why it's important to us and reminding ourselves of that. So for me, something like my goal of getting fitter, by writing down all those key elements of why getting fitter is so important to me, and putting that up on the wall somewhere, having it in my phone to be able to look at and remind myself, that sort of thing will keep your momentum going when you start to feel that you're flagging a bit. When you start to think, oh, well, you know, I don't really need to do this. No, we don't need to do anything, but I want to do it. Sometimes my brain can forget that, and so I need something to remind me. And those words that I've written down about why it's important to me often are a brilliant reminder to me. So step 3 is about telling yourself that, I'm sorry, there's never a right time. Because we often are waiting for the right time, aren't we? One day I'll do that thing I've always wanted to do. One day I'll, you know, when I've got all my ducks in a row, I will. Where does that phrase come from? That's a really odd phrase. When I've got all my ducks in a row, I will do X, I will do Y. When everything's perfect and wonderful, I will do that amazing thing that I've been dreaming of forever. One day never comes. And we need to be able to accept that and almost push that away from us and go, there is no perfect time. There is no one day. The only perfect time and the only one day is today, right now. And I often ask myself the question, if not now, then when? And that brings up for me 3 options. So if I'm thinking that there's a thing I know I should be doing, getting fitter, and I've worked out that it definitely is my should to have, it definitely belongs to me, I've got a real why behind it, but I'm not doing it yet, I don't seem to be able to get that into action, then I say to myself, well, if not now, then when? So my first option is, if not now, then when? Now. I'm going to do it right now. My next option is when. If not now, then when? And so when am I going to do it? And then I get out my diary, I get out my phone and my calendar in it, and I schedule in a time that I'm going to do it. I imagine myself doing that thing. I know the date, I know the time, I know where I'm going to be when that thing starts. By actually putting in to any sort of schedule or goal a specific place, physical place that you are going to be when you do that thing or you start that goal, you're 50% more likely, studies have shown, to actually succeed in that thing and actually carry out that action. And so I know when and where and how I'm going to do that thing. So if it's not now, I know when it's going to be. And then a third option is this. If now's not the right time, if when is not the right time, and scheduling a date, then I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. It's obviously not important to me enough for me to make it a reality in my life right now. And so rather than carrying that hope, that dream, that goal, that project in my mind and letting it take up headspace, rather than moaning about the fact that I'm not doing it and I never do it and I know I should, I'm going to let it go. I'm going to cross it off my brain list. I'm going to give myself headspace for the things that I actually am ready to either do now or to schedule in. So, step 4, the last step, is just about taking the first step. It's about knowing that the first step is not a commitment and a decision for life. Because some of us, particularly perfectionists, feel like, oh, if that first step's not going to be perfect, then I can't do anything. I'm not even going to start to move down that road. I want to ask you this question. I heard someone talk about this once and it really stuck with me. How many of us, when we went on a first date with anybody, or if you're dating now, you go on a first date, how many of us imagine that in order to go on a first date, you have to first decide that you are going to marry that person? You're going to be with that person for the rest of your life. Okay, just on a first date, we've got to make the decision that a first date, the first step means I'm in this for life. Not very many of us, if any. One of the things I often say to my clients and people I work with is to think of dating your decisions, not marrying them. If we remember that dating is a process of taking a first step, seeing how it feels, trying it on for size, then deciding, okay, that was good, that was all right. I might take the next step. And then in the next step going, I'm going to just see where I am now, work it out. How's this feel? How's this look? What am I thinking? Not so sure. I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to go on the next date. Or I'm going to take a step sideways because there's something good, but maybe I need to just kind of move around in some way or explore something slightly different. Taking the first step is easy. It's easy when you tell yourself it's easy, because our brain believes what we tell it. And if we tell it, oh, I can't do it, it's going to, be such a big commitment, what if it all goes wrong, I can't even do this first part, then your brain believes it. If you tell yourself taking the first step's easy, it will take a while because you might still be in an old brain pattern of believing old things that you've told it, but eventually it'll come on board. And then taking the first step will be as easy as you say it is. So when you are struggling to go from knowing to doing, when you're struggling with procrastination, then the 4 steps. Number 1, ask yourself, does this belong to me? Does this goal, this project, this dream actually belong to me? If it doesn't, let it go. If it does, then move forwards. And step 2, a great way to move forward, is know why it's important to you. Why does this thing make my heart, my mind, my body excited and actually want to take action? That's the thing that's going to get you in that flow, that momentum. That's the thing that's going to keep you committed to achieving this goal. Write it down, keep looking at it. Step 3, remind yourself there is no perfect time. There is no one day. If not now, then when? Do it now, schedule it for when, or let it go and save some valuable headspace for something else. And finally, take the first step. Step forward, see how you feel, and keep evaluating as you go. Now, hopefully some of these tips and tools have given you some ideas of things that you can try. Maybe they're things you've tried in the past, or maybe they're brand new to you. I'd love to hear which tools and steps you try, or what that thing is that you know you should be doing but you're not taking action on. So drop me a comment below and let me know. And also, if you haven't already signed up to my Wellbeing Tribe, where you get loads more useful tools and tips just like this, but straight to your email inbox, then head over to my website, scroll down to the bottom of the page and join the Wellbeing Tribe. I'd love to see you there. As always, have a fantastic day and I will see you very soon. So take care. Bye.